So this is going to be kind of a complicated concept to explain. But number one, for sure, we can just get this out of the way right here, right now. There are no such thing as successful shortcuts. Shortcuts will always be short-lived. Don't even look for them. If you happen to find one, it's going to be short-lived. I guarantee you, I promise you. So there's not going to be any shortcuts. The other thing is, though, you're not going to be able to take the easy route. And this is probably where we're going to have a very serious disagreement with a lot of people on what the easy route actually is. Guys, I hate to break it to you, but learning to turn a wrench is very easy. Now, me saying that, I want to make it perfectly fucking clear. I have no problems with men who want to and like to work with their hands. No problems with that whatsoever. Whether it's a pastime, whether it's a hobby, whether it's a passion, or whether it's your chosen vocation to make a living. I don't have a problem with that. If we did not have that built within inside us as men, we would not have everything that we have in this world. Society and everything in it was built by men who like working with their hands. So I do not have an issue with that. But I am going to be very honest with you guys. It is not difficult to learn how to turn a wrench. It is not difficult to learn how to swing a hammer. This is why you have anybody who's in the industry or anybody who knows enough people that are in the industry will be able to fucking vouch for this. You will have individuals who are not, let's just say, academically inclined that can learn to be very good at turning a wrench. Now, there are plenty of very intelligent people that do turn a wrench. Very, very intelligent people. And oftentimes, those are going to be the individuals that either rise to the cream of the crop of their industry, or those will be the ones that branch out on their own, start a very successful business, possibly even franchise and branch out, whatever the case may be. So I have zero problem with an individual, a man who likes to work with his hands. That being said, guys, it is very simple to learn how to turn a fucking wrench and swing a hammer. I hate to break it to you, but that is the truth. But most people, most men will stay in that realm of endeavor because it is an easier route to go, because it's simple to learn to turn a wrench. Now, there are three things that will be able to leapfrog you amongst other men and amongst other people in order to make more money, to generate more money. I like the way that Elon Musk says it. He's not the only one that I've heard say it. I don't know where it initially comes from. Could be him, could not. But I like the way he says it and the way other people copy it, whoever said it originally. But it's, you will always be paid in proportion to the problems that you solve. So if you're able to solve small problems, you're going to make small amount of money. Or in the case of turning a wrench, if you're able to solve problems that many people can solve, then you're only going to be paid a small proportion of what the mass amount of money that could be made in that, because lots of people can do it. There are thousands of mechanics. There are thousands of people who do carpentry. There are thousands of people who do plumbing. There are thousands of people who do these things. So you're always going to be paid a small proportion of what that actually is. Okay. So one of things that can leapfrog you if you learn how to be good at them to make more money, guaranteed, thinking. Nah, God, trust me. I've heard a gang of motherfuckers tell me how well they can think. Oh, I think all the time. No, you fucking don't. You let your mind wander. That is not the same thing as thinking. Thinking, to be able to do it well, that is you have a thought, you have a concept, you have a problem, you have an idea, it doesn't matter what it is, and you're able to follow that one thought, that one mote, all the way through to its fruition, to its end completion. It doesn't matter what it is. I don't care what it is, but you have to be able to follow it. And we're talking about a lot of times for hours, maybe even days, weeks, months. You have to be able to take that one small speck of an idea that you have or that somebody gave you and is able to walk all the way through to the end. That's why people who think for a living make way more money than an individual who swings a hammer. Very good example is you have an engineer and you have the guy that makes the shit. The guy that's the engineer who has to think for a living, he's making way more money than the individual who's at the bottom creating the thing that this man thought up. That's a very good example of that. So thinking. Now, if you guys are young enough, you guys are able to take a massive change in the way that you're going and learn these three things. And I promise it'll make a difference in your life. So one is going to be thinking. Two, creativity. Now, creativity is not a guarantee that you will make more money. It's not. Thinking can be, because eventually you will think your way out of the situation that you're in. Creativity also can be. Doesn't It's not a guaranteed. There's a lot of people that do things that are very creative. So they make music, they write lyrics, they write like I do. They use a lot of different purposes in order, or a lot of different avenues to be creative, but they don't necessarily turn those into an avenue to create money, to generate revenue. It's just something that they do as a pastime, a hobby, as a passion, whatever. But they actually have something else that they have to go do. They have to go do a real job, and they never follow that thing through to making money off of it. But creativity can be a very good way to make money. So a good example of that, two very good examples of that, is fucking J.K. Rowling and George Lucas. These were two individuals that had a very high levels of creativity and put those things down on paper and then also on film, and were able to push it out to the world and literally made billions of dollars, guys. They literally made billions of dollars. They became billionaires because they were capable of thinking and then being creative. So, thinking and creativity. The third one, and it goes right back to the quote that we just discussed with Elon Musk: problem solving. If you have good problem solving skills, it doesn't matter what industry you're in, what position you're put in, you will always be able to rise to the top and then to the next level of that thing. Always. If you have good problem solving skills, you will always have that ability to move up, because you're going to solve the problems that are placed in front of you. Now, when you're capable of putting all three things together, thinking creatively to solve problems, holy shit. That is the holy trinity right there. If you're capable of thinking creatively to solve problems, man, there is not a situation that you will not be able to get yourself out of. There is not a company that you will not be able to take to another level. There is nothing that is outside your grasp as far as a level of success, if you're capable of thinking creatively to solve problems. You want to make more money? Learn to think, learn to be creative, learn to solve problems. You want to make a lot of money? Learn to do those three fucking things. And it doesn't matter which industry you look at. You got people that made a fuck ton of money off of something, right? But that's because and then everybody learned about it. Because again, it's easy to learn to turn a wrench. It's easy to follow the individuals that already went through there. So you have all this shit that people talk about, like drop shipping and I don't know, Bitcoin, all this fucking shit, right? But it's the individuals that are able to look at these things and solve those problems early. And then those individuals were able to make a fuck ton of money. You could even look at Dan Pena. Dan Pena is a really good example. What he did to the stock market, what he was involved in the stock market, is because they were thinking creatively at the beginning of that whole process. Now the stuff that they did would be impossible to fucking mimic. It would be impossible to do the exact same thing that individuals like him had done. If you can learn to do these three things, and guys, if you're young enough, man, this is where you should be putting your mind. This is what you should be thinking about. And if you can't fucking do it, find somebody that can teach you to do it. Read some fucking books. Do whatever you got to do. But learn to think creatively to solve problems. Man, there's nothing in this world that you will be able to have any and everything that you've ever dreamed about. Because it doesn't matter which industry you choose to be involved in, you will rise to the top and then continue going to the next level, the next level, the next level. Because you're going to also be able to recognize if this thing only goes to a certain level and you want to get to the next level, then you got to get the fuck out of there, go to the next thing, and get up. That's going to be the three things, guys. Good luck.